Hi, my name is Manuel Costa. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist based in San Jose in the southwestern portion in the Camden Park area. I'm going to talk right now about conscious marriage. What's a conscious marriage? I would say that a conscious marriage is one in which the partners try to understand the automatic behaviors and patterns in their lives, usually inherited from childhood, that we assume, we don't even know we have these attitudes and behaviors. And they affect our current behaviors and how we treat one another, how we treat our partner in marriage. For example, one of the unconscious things I think that we need to make conscious are things that we learn from childhood around money, food, sex. Three big things of our lives. If, for example, our parents were very tight with money and we grew up with a sense of being poor, we can have an unconscious sort of attitude when we marry that we have to watch money very carefully. And we get on our spouse and we try to control everything about their expenditures, and that leads to tightness and negativity and arguments. And we may not be aware that the reason why we have that is we grew up in a family where scarcity was the model instead of abundance. Or it could turn the other way. If we grew up in a family where there was scarcity, now we want abundance, and so we'll spend money when we shouldn't, and have a kind of an open attitude towards spending that becomes in itself counterproductive because we're spending money that we shouldn't spend. Food. I have a client that grew up with a parent, a mother, who watched everything that she ate and controlled it very closely, particularly around sugars and flour and things that are good to control. But the child, as she became an adolescent, wanted to be free, as adolescents do, of parental control. And so what did she do? She snuck across the street to the 7-Eleven store that was there and would sneak sweets and develop a weight problem as she just began to eat whatever she wanted to eat. And now does have still a weight problem as an adult, because there's a part of her, an unconscious part of her, that doesn't want to control food. It was controlled so tightly in her childhood that she wants to be free now. But that freedom is leading to behavior that isn't really healthy for her. Sex is another area where we learn from our parents. If there's a repressive attitude towards sex, and a child grows up saying, hearing from parents, no, don't touch yourself there. That's nasty. The attitude toward genitalia, toward sexuality is going to be colored as negative and bad. Bringing that across then into a relationship is going to color one's attitude toward one's own body, the body of our partner, and create a lot of guilt, shame around sexuality that really shouldn't be there. There's a wonderful cartoon that shows a couple in bed lying next to each other, and then up above their bed are 4 pictures frowning of each of their sets of parents, looking down at them in bed. And that's what happens when we inherit negative attitudes toward sexuality from our parents. So those are 3 areas. There are many, many areas besides money, food, and sex, where attitudes that we learn, behaviors that we learn from childhood can creep into our relationship with our spouses or partners. So becoming aware of these, becoming clear about what these are, talking about them with one another. What was your childhood like? Sharing experiences of childhood with each other can bring about a consciousness that will help your marriage.